Good morning, my name is Mr. Hadlow and we are here today at Collegio Magno for our presidential debate. The topic we will discuss today is should abortion be declared lawful? And to discuss this issue today we have Raphael Zimmer on my left-hand side, who is the Republican, and on my right-hand side we have Nicole, who is a Democrat. And today we're going to begin with the Democrat, Nicole. So you have 3 minutes to present your argument.
Abortion should be legal, as being illegal causes more harm than good, including violating women's rights. Abortion was declared a fundamental right guaranteed by the Constitution after the decision by the Supreme Court on the landmark abortion case, Roe v. Wade. Since 1973, the law obliged to the Constitution and therefore is making sure all women has the right of an abortion. The decision stated by the Constitution gives a guarantee of certain areas or zones of privacy. This right of privacy is broad enough to encompass a woman's decision whether or not to terminate her pregnancy. Looking up abortion on the internet, we come up with the deliberate termination of a human pregnancy, most often performed during the first 28 weeks of pregnancy. A personhood only begins after birth or after a fetus becomes viable, which is when it can survive outside the mother's womb. Consequently, an abortion is the termination of a pregnancy and not the termination of a baby. When you count a person's age, do you count it from birth or from conception? Yes, we all count it from birth. Also, fetuses are not counted in the US Census, which means they are not counted as people. Bringing back the case Roe v. Wade, it was stated that the word person, as used in the 14th Amendment of the US Constitution, does not include the unborn. An abortion is much more than a woman simply ending a life. Women are empowered by their reproductive choice. This gives us a way to control our bodies and determine the course of our future. There are such strong voices worth hearing. One is Sandra Day O'Connor, the former Supreme Court Justice. She wrote in the 1992 decision Planned Parenthood versus Casey that the ability of women to participate equally in the economy and social life of the nation has been facilitated by the ability to control their reproductive lives. One other is the Supreme Court Justice Ruth Ginsburg, who wrote in the Gonzalez versus Carhart from 2007 that it's within a woman's autonomy to determine her life's course and thus to enjoy equal citizenship stature. You might say that abortion is the killing of a human being, which defies the word of God. Many pro-life say that. However, the United States of America is a secular state. That means a state is or purports to be officially neutral in matters of religion, support neither religion or irreligion. In this case, there is no way word of God is valid as an argument.
Okay, thank you, Nicole. So now, Raphael, you have 3 minutes to present your arguments too.
Thank you very much. So, abortion is first unconstitutional, as it goes against the right of life that the fetus has while in the mother's womb. And also, women might die from internal bleeding and infection by a virus or bacteria during or after the chirurgical procedures. And last but not least, the government spends resources on abortion clinics and procedures instead of investing more on other things like child care and education. So, first, research has shown that after developing into a fetus, the baby already starts developing some functional neurosignals that can represent forms of thinking and processing information, such as hearing sounds and moving body parts. One research made by cognitive neuroscientists at the University of Helsinki found out that babies learn to recognize words and remember them as early as the beginning of the last trimester of pregnancy. And also, even though abortion has been legalized, many women that go through the process of abortion in legal clinics, not illegal ones, still suffer the consequences, many times being infected by external bacteria, or in some cases also dying. A study and data collection performed by USA's Center for Disease Control revealed that about two women in every 10,000 die that go through the process, and more than 30% of these women end up being infected by bacteria. And to conclude, a report made by the Planned Parenthood non-profit organization says that the government of the US spends about $2 billion every year on abortion, while it spends about $600 billion on education, not 100, sorry. Even though the government spends more money on education, it is still not enough to provide good enough education to every citizen in the country. Besides that, the Planned Parenthood program and child care program created by the government receive in total only about $2.2 billion every year, which is a very small amount in comparison to the total number of children that are born every year. Because of that, and to propose a question for you, I will ask you, if every woman was allowed to have an abortion freely and at any time, wouldn't it also mean that she has been given the right to decide when she wants to take a life that is not hers away, which means that she is going against the right of life proposed on the Bill of Rights?
Okay, now we're going to give you 1 minute to present your counter-arguments to Nicole's cases, Raphael, and then
Okay.
Nicole, you'll have another minute, okay?
Thank
so
you
when
very
you're
much.
ready.
So, I would like to propose a counter-argument to you saying that the process of abortion does not count as removing a life, as the fetus hasn't yet been or has enough conscience to be considered a citizen of the country. As you said, personhood, as it is not alive in the first place. So, to be a citizen of the US, United States of America, it is only required in the first place that one of or both of your parents are already citizens of the country, meaning that a fetus, even though it has not yet developed itself completely, should already be considered a citizen or a citizen in the future. The definition of alive also does not mean to be able to think, but to have certain biological functions, as being able to replicate and to have a functioning metabolism, which the fetus has in all stages of its development.
Okay, thank you, Raphael. And now, Nicole, you also have a minute to present your rebuttals to Raphael.
Okay. As I said, the fetus only begins to be counted as a person after birth because in the Constitution it says that that the fetus does not count in the U.S. Census, which means it's not counted as people. And the 14th Amendment says person, but it's not including the unborn, so we are not ending specifically a life because it hasn't started yet. But also you said that women having trouble during their abortion, it's not very accurate because there's a study made by the College of Obstetrician and the gynecologist that the fetus is not capable of feeling any pain until the third trimester, and it's when most abortions are done before that, and the process of the abortion is very safe because the doctors tend to give anesthesia to both women and baby. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Nicole. Okay, thank you, guys. That was quite a heated debate. I saw lots of eye contact between you there, lots of conflict. You both had good factual information, very good comprehension of your subjects. However, I think on this occasion, I'm going to have to give it to Nicole because I liked your argument about the, like, how far do you take life? Like, do you take it to cellular level? So on that note, I'm going to have to give it to you today. But Raphael, your arguments were also good, but commiserations for you today.
Thank you.
Thank you.